Have you ever walked into a room and felt the energy shift without a word being spoken? Have you ever noticed that your kindness, openness, or emotional diff seems to provoke not admiration but subtle irritation or even envy in others? If you identify as an empath, this experience might be all too familiar. But why does it happen? What is it about the light you carry? Thievery qualities that make you warm, understanding, and deeply attuned that causes discomfort in some. To answer this, we must turn to the depth psychology of Carl Jung and archetypal dynamics of the human psyche. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the Mental Dose channel and join our Telegram community where you'll get early access to new videos and insights on personal and spiritual growth. Now let's get started. Empathy and the self-empathy is often misunderstood as mere emotional sensitivity, but from a Jungian perspective, it is far more complex. Empathy is a psychological bridge, allowing one to connect with both the personal and collective unconscious. According to Jung, the self encompasses the entirety of the psyche, the conscious ego, the unconscious, and the deeper archetypal layers. When an empath embodies this openness, they act as a conduit for unconscious material to rise to the surface, not just within themselves, but in those around them. This can be deeply unsettling. The empath's presence activates what lies dormant in others, provoking reactions they may not understand or control. In such moments, the empath unknowingly becomes a psychologicalitus, igniting an inner friction between the ego's defenses and the unconscious's longing to be acknowledged. The shadow effect. This leads us into one of most critical insights. The shadow. The shadow holds all the aspects of ourselves that we reject or deny. When others are exposed to an empath's authenticity, their own shadow surfaces. The discomfort they feel isn't about the empath as a person, but what that person unconsciously reflects. The empath's light becomes a psychological contrast, revealing what others have buried. This creates an inner tension which often manifests as passive aggression, withdrawal, or subtle contempt. And because the shadow resists exposure, it turns outward, projecting its unrestrained on the empath. Empaths often carry the wounded healer archetype of the wounded healer, a figure whose power to heal arises from their own experience of suffering. Their compassion is not theoretical. It is born of wounds endured, darkness faced, and resilience earned. This makes their energy potent and paradoxically a threat to those who have not confronted their own pain. These dynamics are intensified when the empath falls into the pattern of overgiving. Often unconsciously, they may absorb others' emotions, believing it to be their responsibility, help soothe or carry the burdens of those who cannot face their own suffering. In doing so, they become inched in unspoken psychological contracts where they are both needed and resented. Magnetic archetypes. So why are empaths drawn into these dynamics so consistently? Jung's theory of archetypes offers clarity. Empaths often embody anima, or animus energy, the emotional, intuitive, and soulful aspects of the psyche. When someone has rejected these qualities in themselves, encountering them externally can provoke a fascination mixed with aversion. The empath becomes a symbol of inner potential unrealized. This explains the curious mixture of admiration and hostility they often receive. Their very presence challenges the unconscious to confront what has been disowned. And not everyone is ready for that confrontation. The mirror and the martyr to others, the empath functions like a mirror. They do not create that discomfort, but they reflect it. Jungian dream work often presents this image. A radiant figure holding a light surrounded by others. Some reaching forth glow, others trying to extinguish it. Many empaths shaped by early experiences fall into a martyr complex. They equate love with sacrifice, attention with self-erasure. Over time, they lose the ability to discern where the end and others begin. The unconscious recognizes this vulnerability and exploits it through projection, resentment, and dependency. These dynamics often unfold in subtle everyday moments. A passing comment list with sarcasm. A friend who regularly seeks your support, but disappears when you need theirs. Empath may internalize these slights as personal failures, but they are more accurately reflections of unprocessed emotions in the fire. Other, recognizing these patterns can be liberating. It allows the empath to reclaim agency and step out of the role of the emotional scapegoat. Moreover, modern research in interpersonal neurobiology supports the idea that highly sensitive individuals often serve as emotional regulators in group dynamics. This biological role, subtly absorbing and balancing the affective states of others, can be both a gift and a burden. Without conscious awareness and self-protective strategies, the empath risks chronic emotional fatigue, which only deepens the cycle of being both sought out and resented. Before we go on, if what you're hearing resonates and helps bring clarity to our own experiences, consider sharing this video with someone who might need it. These insights can open important conversions. And if you'd like to support thoughtful, depth-oriented content like this, you can click the thanks button below. Your presence and support genuinely make a difference. Now let's continue. For the empath to individuation and boundaries evolve, they must embrace the process Jung called individuation, the integration of all aspects of the psyche, including the shadow. A core part of this journey is the development of boundaries. Not walls to isolate, but strong edges that define the self. Boundaries allow the empath to feel deeply without being consumed, to witness without internalizing, and to love without losing oneself. When the empath stops confusing empathy with responsibility, they begin to claim their power. They become a conscious participant in their relationships rather than a receptacle for others' projections. The mature empath to live as an empath is to accept both light and shadow. Your presence will not always be welcomed because it reveals, but you are not here to be understood by everyone. You are here to remain rooted in your truth. Do not shrink to make others comfortable. Do not confuse humility with silence. Your light is no arrogance. It is the result of inner work of pain transformed into presence. The resentment you face is not personal, it is psychological. And the more conscious you become, the more gracefully you can navigate it. If this video resonated with you, leave a comment below. Share your experience with this dynamic. And don't forget to subscribe to the Mental Dose channel for more in-depth explorations of the psyche, emotional intelligence, and spiritual growth. Your journey as an empath is sacred. Your light is needed. Protect it, cultivate it, and above all, never apologize for it.